Hi and welcome to Swedish Plant Guys. Plant of the month, and this is a good one. It's the Dracaena fragrance Cintho, usually just called Dracaena Cintho. So why have we chosen this plant as plant of the month? Well, this is actually our favorite type of Dracaena. Why, you ask? Well, it's quite easy because they have taken all the best abilities from the different varieties of Dracaenas and just shoved them into one plant, the Cintho. What I mean by that is that you have a Dracaena that is beautiful, meaning it has this variegated leaf shine to it, and it is extremely strong. What I mean by that is that you can place this plant almost anywhere in your home. You could place it in not direct sunlight, but lots of indirect sunlight, all the way into the middle of a room where it gets almost no light at all, and it will survive. It's that strong. One of the things that could potentially harm this plant is if you water it too much. And by too much, I mean if you water it and have it standing in water. If you make sure to remove all of the excess water every time you water, this is a plant that will live for years and years. Now, we say quite often on this channel that it's usually good to know where it's native. Where does it come from? Because if you know where it comes from, you can adapt your environment in your home or try to adapt if you see problems with the plant. Now, this plant is native to Africa, Southern Asia and Northern Australia. So meaning it actually likes a climate that has high humidity, high heat, and usually lots of light. When you go out to buy your Cintho for the first time, know that there are a lot of different varieties you can buy. What I mean by that is that you can buy a 1-stem, 2-stem, 3-stem, sometimes up to 7 stems, or what we call a multi-stem. What I have here on the table now is a 2-stem, and this one is actually called a 45-15 Dracaena Cintho. What that means is that 45 is the centimeters of the first or longest stem here. And when it came to the grower, it was actually just this stem. Then they rooted this stem and they got the leaves from that. So you have 45 centimeter stem together with a 15 centimeter stem here. So this is a 45-15 Dracaena Cintho. Moving up to 3 stems instead. Here in Europe, this is the most common height of the Dracaena Cintho. And this is the 3 stem. This is called the 90-60-45 Dracaena Cintho. So 90 centimeters, 60 centimeters, and 45 centimeters. So you have a 3 stem. Now, what's the difference between a 3 stem and a multi-stem? Well, as you can see here, there's lots of room in between the stems. But you can also get one that have the stems pulled together and grown together. So you have a bunch of them. And this is a multi-stem. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stems clumped together, creating this multi-stem. Now, what's the difference really? Well, visually, you get a Dracaena Cintho that is more compact. You have leaves everywhere since there are so many stems pulled together like this. So if you want to have a more compact look, go for a multi-stem. But know that this will cost a little bit more, of course, because you have more stems. But if you want a more airy look, then go for this type of Cintho where you have air in between the stems, you could find from 1 up to 7 stems that are apart like this. Now, even though this is an extremely strong variety of Dracaena, sometimes the Dracaenas can experience pests. Now, it's our experience here in the southern parts of Sweden that what you will probably encounter is some type of a mite. It could be spider mites, but actually it's more common that you get another type of mite. Now, the problem with mites is that they're so small that you can't see them. At least you can't see them until there are millions of them. So how do you know when your plant has gotten mites? Well, as you can see on this plant here, it actually shows us that the leaves of the plant starts to get a little bit shaded. It loses its nice green texture and the cuticle of the leaf starts to decay. So it doesn't look as shiny anymore. Now, usually a mite infestation will come first to the newest parts of the plant. What I mean by that is that the newest leaves on top of each stem, because a new leaf like this one here, as you can see, it hasn't gotten its cuticle yet, meaning that it's just so easy for the mites to start to bite into those nutrients inside of the plant. And of course, most of the nutrients you will find here because it's growing. It's actually continuing to grow out. So a lot of nutrients are here. So this is the main course for the mites. So if you keep an eye out all the time on the new leaves of your plant, and if you notice that they start looking like this plant here, you can see that there are some small spots on the leaves. It's starting to not look right. And it can also show you by the tips of the leaves just starting to decay and starting to become brown. And eventually, as the mite infestation just grows, this will move down to the older leaves as well. As you can see on this plant, it's everywhere. So if you see this, be quick, react directly, and start to treat your plant. Just go to the nearest shop and ask for something that can handle mites and start to treat your plant. Now, the quicker you are, the more likely you are to save your plant. So a bonus tip for our plant of the month: flowering. Most Dracaenas actually flower. However, it takes a long time before they do. They like to settle in your home, and here in the southern parts of Sweden, it usually takes at least 6, 7 or 8 years before it flowers the first time. But know that it will have a very distinct smell. Some people love the smell. Some people actually get migraines from that smell. Our experience is that the flower itself is not that beautiful, and it drains quite a lot of nutrients from the plant to flower. So what we actually do when it flowers, we go in and we cut off the flower to make sure that all of the plant just continues to feel well and doesn't have a nutrient deficiency. But if you love the flower, if you love the smell of the flower, enjoy. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps our channel a lot. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do. Hit the bell as well so you get a notification every time we put up something new. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where you can get sneak previews on upcoming videos and sometimes a little bit more. Now until next time, hej då!